Good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this inspiring session of OKAF 2025. I am truly honored to be your moderator today. My name is Imran Sarhasan, and I am currently serve as an assistant professor at Samsun University Department of International Trade and Business. It is a pleasure to be part of this enriching platform and guide today's discussion. We are thrilled to be joined by Dr. Navjot, who is connecting with us all the way from California. Navjot Paul is sociologist, writer, and educator whose work explores the intersection of environmental change, gender, and justice, particularly in the global south. She is the author of The Hegemonic Masculinity, Caste, and the Body, and holds a PhD in sociology from the Memorial University of Newfoundland. Navjot is complete the prestige MSCA fellowship in Europe and brings a transnational perspective to her research. Her work is grounded in the bridging the diverse epistemologies with a strong focus on the storytelling, community, and environmental justice. Today, she will share her journey and insight through a talk titled Navigating Change, a Researcher Path from Personal to Global. We are looking forward to hearing her reflection and experience on this transformative path. The session will begin with Dr. Navjot's presentation, followed by a discussion and the time for your questions at the end. Please feel free to share your question in the chat during the session. Now, without further ado, I would like to warmly welcome Dr. Navjot. The screen is yours.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here with you virtually at Samson University. My name is Dr. Navjot Palkar, and I'm a sociologist, a researcher, and a writer, and someone who is deeply committed to exploring how personal experience can drive an academic inquiry and shape global conversations. So today I want to share with you how my research path grew from a small village in Punjab to reach the questions about identity, environment, justice, and belonging. I hope it offers inspiration to all the students that are watching this live or the recording of this presentation, not just about research, but also about asking meaningful questions rooted in who we are. So I will not talk much about I will not go into details, but I will briefly touch upon what I do and how I got to where I am right now. So to understand my work, it is essential to understand Punjab, both as a geographical place and a cultural memory. So Punjab is a north-western state in India. So it means the land of five rivers. So it has been a cradle of agriculture, resistance, and rich cultural traditions. So in 1947, during the partition of India and Pakistan, Punjab was the state that was split in two. So it caused one of the largest mass migrations in human history. So my own family was displaced during this time. Punjab is also the birthplace of Sikhism. It is a spiritual path and religion that emerged in the 15th century. So Sikhism, it emphasizes equality, community service, and humility, and resistance to injustice. So the ideal of saint soldier, it captures a unique vision of masculinity within Sikhism, where strength is balanced with spirituality and service. So the idea has shaped how many Punjabi Sikh men see themselves and have seen themselves historically, not just as farmers or workers, but as protectors of their land and people. And this cultural framing becomes even more powerful when that land changes. So this is where my research begins. So my research, it began with stories, not statistics, right? So growing up, my grandfather, who had survived partition, he spoke about the land with a kind of reverence. His memories weren't just agricultural, they were emotional. So he remembered the communal ponds, the forests, the shared labor between neighbors and families. So as I grew older, I saw that that world had begun to disappear. So it was replaced by monocultural farming, chemical dependency, falling groundwater levels, pollution, disappearing trees. The stories I was hearing, they began to clash with the landscapes I was seeing. So there was this kind of this conflict in what I heard and what I was seeing. So this emotional tension, it stayed with me and eventually became the foundation of my academic work. So I started to wonder what it means when land, something so tied to identity, masculinity, and belonging, starts to disappear or change. How my research journey began. So, I trained as a sociologist in Canada and Europe. So, my research focuses on climate change, environmental degradation, and gender in the global south, particularly in Punjab, North India. So in Punjab, the Green Revolution of the 1960s, it introduced high-yield crops, fertilizers, and pesticides, initially hailed as a success story, but over decades, these practices led to ecological harm. They led to soil degradation, groundwater depletion, and loss of biodiversity. So my work looks at how these environmental shifts are deeply cultural and emotional, especially for farmers whose identities have been rooted in the land for generations. Through interviews, storytelling, and narrative methods, I try to understand how changing landscapes they affect people's sense of place, masculinity, and emotional well-being. So I've also been developing an idea of a documentary film and a public storytelling blog, as I believe research must also speak beyond the academia to the communities it emerges from and to the broader world. So the concept that I often return to understand my work and how the place-based distress it affects people's identities in a negative way, that concept is known as solastalgia. So solastalgia is the emotional distress people feel when their home environment changes around them in unsettling ways. So in my research interviews with farmers, I encountered numerous stories of dried up ponds that once nourished like life in the villages, right? So the trees that no longer blossom the same way, the a kind of quiet grief expressed as fatigue or nostalgia when farmers say the land just doesn't feel like it used to. So it is not just ecological loss, it is the loss of memory, culture, and purpose, especially for men raised to believe that the land is part of their role, responsibility, and pride. And these experiences are not unique to Punjab. Whether it's coastal communities in Turkey, farming families in Brazil, or indigenous peoples in Canada, climate change and environmental degradation are also deeply about emotion, identity, and place. That's what I mean by going from local to global. So you might wonder why sociology, because I was told that this talk was meant to be especially for aspiring researchers and students. And I just want to briefly touch upon why I chose sociology. So because sociology allows us to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. It invites us to question the systems of power and ask how knowledge is produced, consider how culture and identity shape our worlds. It also enables us to bridge worlds, something that I have always wanted to do and that I pursue in my work. So bridging means connecting two different worlds. For example, in my work, I connect the two different worlds of between global north and global south, right? So it also means to bridge science and storytelling, right? So something that is evidence-based and something that touches emotions, right? So it also means bridging policy and people's lived realities. So in my own work, I try to practice that bridging with humility. Humility, not just as a virtue, but as a methodology, right? So humility means listening. It doesn't mean extracting. It means co-creating, not dominating. It means recognizing that communities in the global south are not just subjects of study, but holders of knowledge. At the end, I just want to give a brief message to students and aspiring researchers. So I just want to say, let your research begin from where you are, where your memories, your questions, and your own answers lay. It's okay not to have all the answers. In fact, good research often begins with confusion or even heartbreak. So ask yourself, what disturbs me? What have I inherited and what do I want to transform? So how can my voice contribute to justice and care? So research is not just about knowledge, it's also about courage and passion, the courage to ask real questions and to follow them wherever they lead. Thank you.
Thank you so much now. I always like your topic, and we had many discussion about it before too. It's very important topic, and actually what we are facing right now is basically because of the problems what we were facing in the past, but we ignore to find a solution about it,
Yes.
right? Now I want to students and open the session like the QA. If you have any question, please like ask. And if you are wondering something, or if you are like just wondering something specific about now, you are very welcome. And yeah, I am seeing that Erdem Gören. Yeah, please ask your question, Erdem.
Hello, Jan. Thanks for lending me the question turn. I unfortunately attended the conference late, so I couldn't hear the beginning of it. But while Navjot was speaking, I just did a quick research about her and found her photographs in Sociology on the Rock, if I found correct. They were lovely, and the last sentences from you were quite effective in my case because I'm a researcher at interpreting and translation studies, and I think artificial intelligence has a destructive power on the ecology, on the environment. And you just told us that we should relate to our past experiences, our history, our wisdom, our creativity to be aspiring researchers. So, what do you think about artificial intelligence in this context? You also agree on we should just use our own experiences and thoughts and not use AI or otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. It's a very important question in today's context because AI is growing like crazy, right? But in my opinion, AI can never take place of a human mind, right? The memories that you have in your mind, that the experiences that you feel in your everyday life, in the lived experience that you have, that you cherish from the childhood to the person you are right now, those experiences and memories, they have made you, they have shaped the way how you think, right? How you speak, how you communicate with people, right? So AI can never replace that. So your thoughts and ideas are always going to be original. AI is just there to help you. It can help you refine it. It's not a destructive tool in itself. I'm sorry, it's not a destructive tool in itself, but it's what you make of it. So if I don't know if you were there for that, but when internet was at its very nascent state, I was in school, right? So we had all kinds of essays and discussions and even debates on the stage about the pros and cons of using internet and whether internet will replace human intelligence, and it hasn't, right? So it's the same concern about AI right now. I think AI will positively enhance the human experience if used correctly, but it just cannot replace but it just cannot replace human intelligence because AI is also trained on human intelligence, right? So it cannot surpass that. The experiences and memories that you have, they are your own, and you should always trust them, trust your instinct, and trust your, like I said, just be courageous and passionate about what you are doing, right? Follow that path and you will do great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Is there another question? I know maybe presentation became a bit short, but I would like to emphasize that Navjot is joining us from the California. So time is almost now 12 there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like past midnight.
yeah, and she's a little bit early bird, so she's generally
It's okay. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a good experience, so I wanted to be up
yes,
for it.
yes, and thank you so much for your participating. I was so happy to see you, and it was a
Absolutely.
great discussion. Is there another question or suggestion or something like you want to say?
Actually, some of the students in this conference are from our departments, translation and interpreting. So I totally presume that they understood what she explained, but I think they're a bit shy to ask a question.
So as a teacher of them, so you can encourage them to ask questions, right?
Okay, the conference was also about, if I remember correct, your research fields, Navjot, were about men and masculinities, right? So it's very interesting how you defined land in that context. And maybe some of our students have uh, interesting questions about it, like Zafer, Selin. Can you hear me right now? Okay, I think they're at OKAF', and it may be a bit crowded there, so they're not opening their microphones. Thanks again for the beautiful conference.
Thank you so much. I mean, I am really sorry because I think most people missed the first parts of the conversation. So I think we started a bit early.
No. Just we came late. You didn't start early.
Some cultural problems occurred,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Please
Yeah.
take care of yourself, and I am really, really so grateful to be
Thank you so
here
much.
today
Thank
with
you for the opportunity. Thank you.
you. Have a nice day, all.
Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.